It's just more of my dream slipping away. It's more of what I hoped for slipping away. I just don't know how to let it go. So
The courtroom was strangely silent. No media spectacle, no gasps, only the thrumming tension of a truth about to explode. At its center was a small black speaker, unassuming, frigid. Waiting, the judge shifted his glasses. The clerk nodded, and the courtroom recorder clicked play. What followed was a voice shaking with emotion, but not remorse. I told you this would happen, Cody. I told you they would turn on us the second things got real. The voice, known to all in the room, was Robyn's. But it wasn't the Robyn they were used to seeing on television. This wasn't canned. This wasn't a script. This was raw, frantic, and uncensored. She had no idea it had been saved. She had no idea it had been forwarded. And she most definitely didn't know it would end up as Exhibit A, in a case that now had the potential to blow apart the final remnants of Cody's image, carefully crafted over the years. The courtroom leaned in. Nobody breathed. I dealt with Janelle. I kept Christine in the dark. And Mary, she is so broken she can't fight. But you are falling, Cody. They're seeing everything. You think the money won't lead back? The words rang out, not just in the room, but in the hearts of people who had once spoken to her as sister. Christine's jaw tightened. Janelle's eyes refused to blink. Even Mary, in the back row, gazed straight ahead in shock. Because what they were hearing was not merely betrayal, it was a confession, and that voicemail, it was never meant to be made public. It was a panic call, spoken hastily, intended for Cody's ears only. But somebody had recorded it, and now it was being used as a weapon. Think the trust will cover the transfers. Think the judge won't ask why there is $400K missing from the Coyote Fund. Wake up, Cody. I am not going down with you. The room was stunned, paralyzed. Even the judge hesitated, eyes narrowing. Rewind that, he instructed. The clerk obeyed. The words echoed, each syllable cutting deeper than the previous one. And in that instant, everyone understood this was no mere scandal. It was a craftily constructed lie, disintegrating strand by strand, on loudspeaker. But what nobody realized, not even Robyn, was who preserved the voicemail. And when that individual finally testified, it wasn't who people anticipated. The reality behind the message was just half the story, the actual twist. It was going to rock the courtroom even more than the tape itself. The back doors of the courtroom squeaked open. He wasn't on the list. He wasn't even in the stands. But when the judge requested where the voicemail had come from, the prosecution spun, slowly, around and pointed down the hallway. And then he appeared inside. Not a lawyer, not a cameraman, not a family member. It was Logan, Cody's oldest son, quiet, reserved, the one who'd always stayed away from the turmoil. But now, he was at the center of it. Logan took a step forward, certain concentrated eyes fixed on his father. He didn't look at Robyn, didn't have to. Your Honor, Logan continued, I got that voicemail by mistake. It was forwarded to a group account in error. I saved it because I knew. Someday, we'd be glad we had it. A whisper ran through the courtroom. Cody's face went white. He knew his bond with Logan had grown loose over the years. Distance, disappointment, distrust. But this was different. Logan set a typed copy of the voicemail on the bench. And on the record, I didn't come here to hurt anybody. I came to defend the ones who waited too long to speak up. Christine gazed at him. Then down. Then nodded, just once. The judge faced Cody. Mr. Brown, do you want to address these charges now? Or do you need an attorney? Cody remained silent. Because how do you answer when your very own son brings the match to your paper kingdom? The courtroom was silent. No one budged. And then Robyn rose, shivering, drenched in sweat. She didn't weep. She didn't scream. She just whispered, I never intended for any of this to escalate this far. But it did. The voicemail wasn't a message. It was a map to every lie they'd constructed their empire upon. And as Logan exited the witness stand, he glanced at his mother and then Christine and declared, the truth always finds a voice, even when you try to delete it. But that was not the end of the story. The voicemail was just the first domino. What followed? A chain of bank transfers, fake documents, and a mystery storage unit no one, including Cody, had thought would ever be discovered.